First hole being augured for our horse paddock. Today is very exciting. I'm working on cutting the lawn. Allison is digging and augering all of our holes. He's going to go along some marks that we made every 8 feet along our paddock number 1. Philip is down by the brook's edge and he is finishing getting the last of those trees that fell down from the hurricane all cleaned up. It was like operation tackle the outside. Let's get this horse fencing up. It rained again on and off today, so I haven't been able to finish the painting on the front fencing. So I figured I would work on the grass for now. Let's go. Philip and I spent about an hour or so the other day marking out all of the spots with the paint so that Allison knows exactly where our holes are going to go, where our gates are going to be, so we can get these two out roaming. After a few hours of progress, we have the front lawn all cut. I used the weed whacker. I used the weed whacker last year for the first time. I hadn't really used a weed whacker before. So I have this all cut. I'm gonna put a little bit of seed down. This is when we were always bringing in stuff before we were driving up the driveway here to the top. So we don't want to do that now. We want it to grow in. Allison has holes dug all the way up and around. He's working behind that tree there. Philip is making huge progress on getting all of that wood from those fallen trees put up. So some of it is being used for firewood and some of it is just going to be burned, like the brush part. So he's gonna chop up all the stuff that was keepable for us to be able to put in with some of our wood for next winter. And then also, so on the other side of the gate, I cut the grass on both sides of the gate here, cleaned up all of the grass edge with the weed whacker and everything all on this side, and raked and cleaned up all the stuff on the ditches on this side, and also raked out the whole ditch to make sure nothing was in there. We weren't sure it was gonna rain or not today. It was kind of on and off, getting really gray. So we kind of waited to do the painting. Tomorrow's supposed to be beautiful. So while Allison's working, Philip's doing other cleaning outside, tomorrow I can paint this fence space. I just thought it would be so nice to get this all cut and cleaned up before we get to finishing that. And then maybe I'll plant a few of my plants I have that I set aside to be able to put out here. Let them start growing for the season. But how exciting! From this view, you can really see just how much work Philip did today, clearing all this out, dragging up a big chunk right now through the trees. Because as you can see, we have these blue marks here. Fencing is going to go all along this area here to keep the horses. We don't want them to be able to go down here where the rocks and everything are. Even though we own to the water's edge, our fencing is going to go along these blue lines here, tucked behind the round pen. They're gonna have a whole ton of space on this whole one side of the paddock here. So much dirt is being pulled from these holes. I can't tell you how excited we are to have this paddock started because the horses ended up coming earlier than we had originally planned, and since it was winter, we weren't able to get any of the holes augured. Also, we can't do that ourselves. We have to have someone come and help us do that, or we have to buy an auger, which is quite costly. So we were able to hire Allison, who works locally in our area here and does sort of like different contracting jobs and stuff, to come and help us out to be able to get this first paddock done. Eventually we'll want to have an auger to do some of our own projects, but for right now, save on the budget and be able to have Allison come out and help us. Hudson and Lennon are losing their woolies. Lennon's woolies are almost completely off. Hudson's are still being a little bit stubborn. He didn't want me to really brush him too much today. You can see he's got woolies only on the bottom of his belly. This is where Philip's gonna live today. And he's gonna harvest as many trees as possible. You can probably hear in the back behind me, Allison has the Kubota going. Philip's gonna harvest posts, fence slats. How many do you think you can get done in one day?
300.
300?
Yes.
That's about how many we need for the first paddock. Well, no, actually we need about 100 posts, and then we need 3 slats for each post section of our 100 sections. So we need about 100 posts, and then we need about 300. You better get a move on.
I'm just gonna fall everything all the way down to the river.
And the weather cooperated today, thank goodness.
But the no-see-ums are out.
They're starting.
First time.
They're starting. I can see the little featheries fluttering behind you. Yeah, I'm guessing by next week at this time we'll be wearing our bug nets on our faces out here while we're working.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to that, but
No.
It doesn't last long.
It doesn't last long. Plus we have some inside projects we're going to be working on in the meantime of working on the outdoor projects, because we're going to need breaks in between doing one or the other. Yeah, you're just going to start where you kind of like
just gonna keep falling trees and then
right, but don't forget you're going to have to unweave them once you fall them. Like they're all going to be laying on top of each other.
I'm gonna add to that. I'm gonna add to it, and then I'm gonna weave my way out like a tree seamstress.
Okay. you can do that. So one of the predicaments that we have for doing our fencing and getting all of the trees fell, is that the right way to say it? Is that our province right now is in a fire ban, and so pretty much every single day we don't have the option of burning any of the brush that we're not going to be using for firewood. So that makes a little bit of a disaster when you're doing that. So at least the part where Philip's cutting everything back here in the woods is hidden. It's not on the main front of the property because we've been working really hard on getting the front of the acreage all cleaned up and giving it some curb appeal and just finally tackling some of those outdoor projects. So the last thing we want to do is create a huge disaster with all of the fallen trees and all the shrubs and everything, and our pile for burning is just getting bigger and bigger, but we're not allowed to burn. So that's kind of like one of those things, but we can't control some things, so we're just working with what we can.
You know what I can control? I
know you can. Philip loves the chainsaw. It's so fun to work with. I'm gonna say within a week these trees will be down right to the water. One and it's not even a slat or post. 400, Philip, we need 400. The good thing is that each of the trees is usually either a post and 2 slats, or 2 posts and a slat. Good thing he likes using his chainsaw. Got him a new blade and a sharpener. Timber!
If I close my eyes and think about us, I can see the person I know I should be. 'Cause honestly,
Timber!
I don't have no time to waste. I'm trying to come back to you because now I see we were meant to be. Just tell me where and I'll come see ya. 'Cause I'm afraid that I'll end up here alone. Hope you'll understand how much I need ya.
Sure hope they remember
back
us.
to when we were kids and didn't care if we were acting stupid, 'cause all we had was eyes. If I close my eyes and think about us, I can see the person I know I should be. 'Cause honestly, I don't have no time to waste. I'm trying to come back to you because now I see we were meant to be.
We officially have the first whole section, literally holes, sections completely done on this whole front part here. Allison's made his way perimeter of the brook all the way around. He's done all behind by the shed.
When we were kids and didn't care if we were acting stupid, 'cause all we had was us. If I close my eyes and think about us, I can see the person I know I should be. 'Cause honestly, I don't have no time to waste. I'm trying to come back to you because now I see we were meant to be.